Welcome to Techi Jack. Today we are diving into a real-world Windows automation use case, and I am collaborating with my friend Nikhil, who's going to walk us through a powerful use case automating Windows firewall and services setup by using Ansible. In our previous video, we have already explained how to configure Windows to get connected with Ansible, and make sure to check it out first. And if you have ever provisioned a Windows VM and needed to configure it securely and reliably, this one is for you. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thanks, I am super excited to be here. This scenario is something every Windows admin or DevOps engineer runs into. You create a Windows VM, but before it's production ready, you have to allow RDP or HTTP ports, and you have to ensure essential services like Windows Update and Defenders are running. Doing that manually for multiple VMs are not scalable. That's where Ansible comes in. Let's move on to the servers. Right now we are on our control node. Ansible is already installed on this server. So let's verify the same. We can see Ansible is already installed. Let's try to configure the firewall and manage services on the Windows. Here I have already pushed my code and the inventory file. Let's have a look on that. So this is the directory, that is Windows Firewall Services. So inside this file, I have created one inventory file, that is inventory. For this demo, we are going to configure two Windows nodes. One is 102 and another is 103. We are going to configure the firewall and the services on both the nodes. Let's have a look on the playbook as well. So this is our playbook. In this, I am specifying the Windows group. Basically, we are going to run this playbook against the two nodes. So at a one time, we are going to configure two nodes. But if we want to manage multiple nodes like 5 or 10, what we need to do, we just need to update those IP address in the inventory file below these IP addresses. And by using the Windows group name, we can configure all those 10 or 15 hosts in a one go. So in this particular Ansible playbook, first task is to configure the RDP. That is to allow the port number 3389, and for doing the same I am using the module that is win_firewall rule, and I am giving a name to the rule that is allow RDP, and the port number is 3389, and here we are giving an action as allow, and the protocol should be TCP or the UDP. So the 3389 port is working on the TCP protocol, so we are giving the same. We are creating a rule, so we are giving state as a present. Basically, whenever we reboot the system, this rule should be applicable and persist against the reboot. So we need to enable this. Similarly, we are doing the same step against the WinRM HTTP that is used for the unencrypted authentication. So here we are using the same module and the same set of parameters which is required for the WinRM, and below that as well we are going to use the same module for WinRM for HTTPS configuration. And at last, if we are configuring some web server, so we need to enable the port number 80. We are also creating a rule for the same. At last, we are enabling and starting the services that are bits, WinRM and the trusted installer. And we are giving the name of the services in a form of loop. So here we can see I have provided the list of services here, and I am using a win_service module. So here we are using the state as status because we need to start the service. And if you want to learn how to create an Ansible playbook from the scratch, you can check out my videos on the Ansible. I will add the link in the description. Now let's try to run this playbook. First of all, let's try to check the connection with both the nodes. For that, I am going to use a command that is Ansible-I, that is stands for inventory and the inventory file name. Then we are going to run it against the Windows group. Then we need to specify the module that is win_ping. Now it will try to establish a connection with both the nodes one by one. First, it's able to establish a connection with the 102 machine. We got a Pong response from the same. It also able to establish a connection with the 103 machine. Now our connection is ready to configure both the nodes. So let's try to execute the playbook again. For that, we need to use a command that is Ansible-playbook-I to specify the inventory and the playbook name, that is configure firewall.yml. Now it's trying to gather the facts from both the machines. It's able to gather the facts from the 102 machine. Now it's trying to gather the facts from the 103 machine. Gather fact means it's trying to read or get the information from the remote host. Now it's trying to enable the port, that is 3389 on both the machines. Now it's enabling the WinRM for HTTP on both the nodes. Once it's done, it's start enabling the WinRM for HTTPS. Now we can see it enabled all the ports and created a firewall rules for all the nodes. Now it's time to configure the services on both the nodes. As we can see, it didn't change the WinRM because it already configured. Ansible is idempotent in nature. If something is already been done, it will not redo the same. So it will save a lot of time in some scenarios where we want to do some configuration. But if it is already there, it will not try to do the same. As we can see, it configured the services on 102 machine. Now it's trying to do the same on the 103 machine. As we can see, our playbook executed successfully. It enabled the port number and started the services which we have specified in our playbook. Let me hand over to Techi to verify the same.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the demo. So right now we are on our server, that is 102, and if we check our firewall rule for the RDP, you can see the display name for the rule is allow RDP, what we have set there, and the action is allowed, direction is inbound. So it has been successfully configured. Let's also confirm the services. I will check for the two services, that is Windows Update and WinRM. Let's see. You can see both the services are running. Same we can verify on our 103 machine as well. So we are on our another machine, that is 103, and if we verify on this for the services, you can see both the services are running here as well. And again, if we check for the port RDP, you can see the allow RDP port and it is allowed. So our playbook has ran successfully. All firewall rules and services are in place, fully automated. And that's how you can simplify Windows VM configuration using just one Ansible playbook. If you love this automation idea, let us know in the comments and we will plan more for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your IT squad, and check the playlist for the previous video where we have covered Ansible setup for Windows.